So loosely related to MJF, but obviously the Hurt Syndicate and MJF had an alliance that is no longer
Mm.
happening. The plug was pulled from this act hastily weeks ago. Um, we've been kind of making hints that this Hurt Syndicate shit really ain't been working most of the year on this show.
Yep.
But this whole thing with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate was a chronic waste of time.
Yeah.
And it was I saw the Hurt Syndicate on Dynamite last night they walked back quickly. They came out there and like, oh yeah, I'm rocking this gear. This is like my last day in the territory gear. I ain't really putting on nothing fly or whatever. Like, there's a stark difference. They've been iced from TV the last couple weeks. Like, you've seen it. Like when they unplugged this shit with MJF, right? MJF had to go move on and do some other shit. You wonder why he's running around with Gates of Agony now, right? And then you see from there, lost my train of thought. Jet Speed. They're immediately working with John Moxley. They're immediately mixing it up
Mm-hmm.
and with the Death Riders and the
Yep.
Young Bucks and different stuff like that. Like they're doing something
Yep.
else now, right? Like oh,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna keep lifting these guys up. Where have the Hurt Syndicate been? Off TV. It feels
Yep.
like this is the last match in the promotion for them coming on Sunday. Write it down. I do not believe you will see these gentlemen again. And
Well, I was 100% with you until I saw that the match is not eliminations. Now I'm figuring out like how they gonna get
they'll find
chose
a
the match for
way.
this.
They will find a
Okay,
way.
maybe look, hold on. Now I know, you know, it's a possibility that they lose, right? There's a non-zero chance that someone gets pinned in Hurt Syndicate. But what I'm not willing to say is that there is a non-0% chance that Bobby Lashley's getting pinned.
Absolutely the fuck not.
if
Um,
if anyone's getting beaten in Hurt Syndicate, it will be Shelton Benjamin.
this is incredible, quite frankly, and the this has fell apart with them so quickly, and the whole thing with MJF and MVP breaking up and the creative differences stuff and everything like that. Yeah, that's what it was. Like, and it basically came down to, well, who was going to win at the end with this, and who do you think? And then they wasted like 7 months building this up, and then dissolved the shit in 2 weeks. They robbed us of our time. They stole television time from Turner Broadcasting Systems doing this, James. This They should have to reimburse like us for this shit.
Look, while I will say this, you know, I'm of the opinion that not everything in on a pro wrestling show has to be for me. Live crowds love this shit. And granted, there's a lot of that stuff that's happened with MJF over the career. Like, the Brochacho shit is over with live crowds. It ain't over with people that I respect their opinions of pro wrestling. So
Yeah.
so yeah, like this is more
And,
the same. Like MJF does this, and look, in 3 months it'll be something else.
and MJF's gonna skate on the MJF Hurt Syndicate thing because, like, obviously the Hurt Syndicate had all this stuff like with
He's gonna
them
still be around. That's why.
not wanting to do business, and we've seen like the three ways already stuff. We've seen them completely eating up baby faces on the mic and generally being
And in the
difficult to work
ring,
and in the ring. Basically getting banished from the singles division and into the tag division because that's what the fuck it was. Nobody wants to work with them. We saw all the people
what
who've
if?
avoided them forever until the last minute.
Oh, I got another add to that, right? FTR has kind of been in our good graces ever since they beat the fuck out of Copeland, right? Remember, I remember at the time I said, you know what? After they put that beat down on Copeland when he came back, might have to give him that eighth star, brother.
Hold on, they
So,
already won these belts. Never
no,
mind.
I'm saying,
You know how they
but
do
they
it.
do. No, it's title reigns. It's not number which title world title you get is what title reigns you get from world title, right? Yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
but anyway, I remember talking to a big FTR friend and may be able to talk and send some messages to FTR and say, hey man, they need to stay clear. This ain't what they want. And I find it quite interesting that like yeah they're gonna add a third team and the third team is gonna have it's gonna have Brody King in it in case some shit don't go the way it's supposed to go. So so look, be like hey, you know Bobby Lashley, there's some buff neck niggas over there, bro. So you know what we gonna do? If shit go left,
we need a little bit of insurance in here.
Look, 4v2. We just gonna be Brody King.
That's funny as fuck. That's great.
Now, I would like, given I'm making this joke, right? I would like to talk about Bearcat Wright and Jean LaBelle, and I would now request that Brody King keep the ski mask on the whole match.
Yeah, the whole match. Yeah.
Was it Bearcat Wright? Who was? No, it was a Bearcat Wright. Who was it?
No, it was
Artie Lang.
Yeah.
Artie Ladd. It was Artie Ladd. Right?
So, yeah. Hold on. So Ethan said, bro. Yeah, I only watch AEW when it comes to major pay-per-views, NJ related. So from an outsider perspective, I'm looking at this as a free defense where the King or Bandito will take an L. And if Bandito takes the L, it'll speak volumes of position. Yeah, he's the Ring of Honor world champion and like one of the 3 best wrestlers of the year right now.
Yeah. I mean, Brody King ain't he'll do jobs.
Yeah.
So you really don't know who will get pinned between them two.
Yeah. So like they basically do this 30-minute draw. It got tons of praise from people. I thought it was a good match, but
I was going to bring that up.
I thought it was a good match, but I thought it was like, I started so slow. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then once they started making the time calls, I was like, oh, this is what they're doing. And then it was like, they're doing a fucking 3-way. So I'm like, how the fuck do you do an entire tournament and then you have no winner at the end? Like, it's just more goofy shit that you have to do to accommodate for what these champions have been. They were disappeared and zapped literally off of television. And that, like, to me screams like, okay, we're not committing any more TV time to you. Just show up, do the business with the belts, and then snip.
Yep.
I think this is it. And quite frankly, like, holla, like, you know, it would like whatever didn't work, you know, like, you know, it feels like the Hurt Syndicate had this idea that they wanted to do their business a certain way, and they wanted to be at a certain level in the company, but that level like wasn't. Like
they can't wrestle that level.
They can't wrestle to that level, and like this is not WWE at the end of the day. Yep. No matter where like you think, you know, like what you're doing, like you could easily, like I once heard about MVP from someone who shall remain nameless. He has tons of great advice. It's just not when you're working with him. Like, so it's like he can tell you how to navigate the business, but like when it comes to you working with them and the Hurt Syndicate, you not getting shit. Like, so it's like it's bad, man. Like, and it's just like it's unfortunate because you know you would think these guys would actually get it. They know it ain't no WWE waiting for you on the other side, or maybe they still think WWE is waiting for them on the other side, where you got to fucking work. Look, we know the booker's not going to push you there. But I guess, you know, Lashley is like one of these types is if you're not using them at the top, where are you using them? But man, I sure thought, you know, when he was doing that initial program with Swerve, I thought that was a good use of him. But yeah. I guess he wasn't immediately going to the championship. So
yep. So
things Rich, got messed up.
So are you ready for TNA to become the official number 2 in this country off the back of Bobby Lashley versus Killer Kross? Are you ready for that?
Are you ready for that? Didn't they do that at WrestleMania in like a 3-way match or a 6-man tag or some shit? It was like Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits against like Cross and like 2 other guys. It was like the last WrestleMania, the one in Philadelphia. Ugh. Yeah, it was like a tables match or some shit. But yeah, get the Hurt Syndicate out of this company, 80%, all that. Like it, got to go. They done stunk it up too much. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. Like, and It could have, but they didn't. They did not want to have matches like that that more fit with what the company is going for. It's just been a styles clash. So yeah,
Look, and think about when you got to work with the Hurt Syndicate. That's a lot of falling on your damn back and neck too.
yeah. So what's the match? All right, we okay. So have you ever watched Joshi where you have a veteran versus a young girl? Yeah. We're gonna do that. That's the match. But that's not no. But fuck. All right, and that's basically what it was. Whether it was Brian Keith getting his ass whooped, whether it was
Private Party.
yeah, Truth Magnum and Outrunner Turbo, whatever the fuck, they got their ass whooped. Like that's just the match. Like we finna whoop your ass. We'll give you, a hot tag. We'll cut off the hot tag and pin you, and then we'll get and.
And all in the promos, MVP will bury you in all the promos leading up
Yeah,
to the match.
yeah, yeah. You won't put over nothing. Yeah, so it's like, all right, man, cool.
Yeah, I don't anticipate on seeing the Hurt folks around much longer. So,